today's lesson, I will be discussing misplaced modifier. Modifier is a word or phrase that provides additional information or describes a word in the sentence. Sometimes this additional information can be placed incorrectly, leading to misplaced modifier. Let's consider this sentence for example. A man was ticketed for speeding. Now this sentence, the way it is correct because you have a subject, which is the man. We have a verb phrase, was ticketed. And why was he ticketed? For speeding. Now, let's look at the second sentence. It says, a man was ticketed for speeding in the green sweater. Now, obviously here, the part in the green sweater sticks out. And this would be my modifier because it gives me additional information within the sentence. But the way it's written right now, it seems that he was speeding in the green sweater. And if you read the whole sentence, a man was ticketed for speeding in the green sweater, it almost seems like he was ticketed because he was wearing the green sweater. Obviously, that's incorrect. And one of the ways for you to identify a misplaced modifier is that the sentence might not make sense. And then you will see that the extra bit of information that gives me additional information is placed incorrectly. So in order to fix that, we must identify the modifier first. Well, the modifier is in the green sweater. But who's in the green sweater? The man is in the green sweater. Therefore, in the next sentence, we see that we rewrite the sentence, a man in the green sweater was ticketed for speeding. The modifier is now placed next to the word that it is modifying. In our case and example here, the green sweater is modifying the man, and placing it next to the man makes the sentence coherent. And if you read it, a man in the green sweater was ticketed for speeding makes perfect sense as it is. A misplaced modifier occurs again when the modifier is placed incorrectly, which is why it's called misplaced. To fix a misplaced modifier, the first step we must take is to identify the modifier itself. Once we identify the modifier, we must rearrange the sentence to put the modifier next to the word that it is modifying or describing. Let's consider these examples to better understand misplaced modifiers. Again, the first step is to identify the modifier and ask yourself, what is it modifying? Then determine if it's placed correctly next to the word that it is modifying. In our sentence, Lana saw a hawk on the way to school. Now here, the sentence, the way it reads, it's almost as if the hawk was on the way to the school, right? Lana saw a hawk on the way to school. But we understand that a hawk cannot be on its way to school. That sentence is illogical. The subject here is Lana. Now, I could have finished the sentence right here by putting a period. Lana saw a hawk. There is a subject, there is a verb, and it completes a thought. Therefore, if I were to put a period here, that would be a correct sentence the way it is. Lana saw a hawk. This additional piece of information is our modifier, on the way to school. But who was on the way to the school? The hawk or Lana? Obviously, it's Lana that was on the way to school. So if I were to rewrite this, Lana on the way to school saw a hawk. Now I could have also said Lana on her way to school, but the sentence rewritten makes sense. Lana on the way to school saw a hawk. Now let's consider the next example. Eric brought lemonade for all the children in paper cups. As soon as you finish reading it, something should jump right at you that the children cannot be in paper cups. This sentence is illogical the way it is. Now again, Eric brought lemonade for all the children. If we were to put a period here, that sentence would be complete. It has a subject, Eric, it has a verb, brought, and it completes a thought. What did Eric bring? Lemonade for all the children. Now, the additional piece of information here is the in paper cups. But what was in the paper cups? As of now, it seems like the children were in the paper cups. But we all know that it's actually the lemonade that's in the paper cups. So if I were to rewrite it, Eric brought lemonade in paper cups for all the children. Again, if you reread this, it will make logical sense. Eric brought lemonade in paper cups for all the children. The modifier is placed correctly next to the word that it is modifying. Let's consider this next example, and this one is a little bit hard to see, so pay attention. Jenny nearly slept for the whole ride. Now the word nearly means close to. Near my house there is a pond. Jenny nearly slept for the whole ride. Now here, the question is, did she almost sleep? Did she not sleep? Obviously, the word nearly is the modifier here, and this modifier is incorrectly placed because the correct form of this sentence would be Jenny slept nearly for the whole ride. Because the question is, well, nearly, what is it describing? Is it describing Jenny's position? Of course not. Nearly is describing the fact that she slept almost through the whole ride, but not for the entire ride. Jenny slept, how did she sleep? Nearly, or nearly for the whole ride. Now, if we said Jenny slept for the whole ride, that would have been also correct. And nearly being the modifier, it has to be placed next to the word that it is modifying. How did she sleep? Did she sleep the whole time? Nearly for the whole ride? Did she not sleep for the entire ride? Jenny slept nearly for the whole ride. I recommend that you guys do more exercises on fixing misplaced modifiers. And as you're fixing them, one key thing to remember while fixing misplaced modifiers is that when we fix misplaced modifiers, we do not add any extra words in the sentence. We are simply rearranging the modifier or the words within the sentence. Again, we are not adding any additional information. We're simply rearranging whatever modifier there is correctly next to the word that it is describing. And this is extremely important to remember, especially when we start looking into dangling modifiers. If you learned something new in today's video, please like the video and leave a comment if there were any way that I could have explained this better or made it more clear. Thank you.